Welcome. If you're new to my channel, I'm Tracy Hensel. I'm a certified professional coach and owner of Hensel Coaching and Consulting. My team and I of coaches help people just like you achieve goals, get over hurdles and setbacks, and navigate relationships so that they can be more optimal. I had a comment come through recently on a YouTube video that I did a few months ago on wedding tips. I was talking about choosing your bridesmaids. If that video topic interests you, there will be a link in the description box below today's video where you can watch that video. Sometimes when I receive a comment, I feel, and this is just the coach in me, I feel the tug of, I'd love to coach around this. I would love to coach this person around this topic, because when coaches are trained to really pick up on what a person is saying, even if it's coming in context where someone typed it, and we gather a lot of our questions from there. And this comment just really prompted me again to read it to you and kind of share a little bit about how I would try to coach this client. But let's read the question and we'll go from there. My sister is getting married in 2 weeks. I was not asked to be in her wedding. It's sad because we were so close. I am hurt and things are going to be different between us moving forward. This was my final straw with her. Kindness and love get nowhere with some people. Now she values her sorority sisters over me and acts so different towards me. I forgive her and accept her decision, but now I really know how she feels about me. Those of you getting married, please give it serious thought. This was just one of those times where I thought I would love to be doing a coaching session with this person, because there's a lot going on with this person. And while she wants to make it sound like there's a lot going on with her sister, actually what I'm reading and hearing is a lot going on with the person who left the comment. First of all, a sister is not required by any means to ask a sister to be in her wedding. There are no hardcore rules if someone chooses to not ask a sibling to be in their wedding. If you look at my girls, I have 5 daughters. Well, that could create your whole bridal party if you felt inclined to ask all of your sisters to be in your wedding. There has been 2 weddings in our family, and all of the sisters were in each of those weddings. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be the case. I have a daughter who has shared that when she gets married someday, she doesn't want a bridal party. And I actually love the thought. So there you go. But there's no hard written rules saying that your sister has to be in your wedding if you have one. So first and foremost, let's address that. It makes complete sense that this person is hurt because she obviously expected to be asked to be in her sister's wedding. Therefore, it would make complete sense she would be hurt. Then she proceeds to say this was my final straw with her, which actually indicates that there's actually some friction or some conflict that goes on. Because if this is your final straw, what has happened in the past that's making you say that? So this also tells me that this relationship is not optimal by any means. Could have something to do with the sister not asking her sister to be a bridesmaid. Kindness and love get nowhere with some people. I would love to explore that in coaching, and I would ask this person to expand on kindness and love getting you nowhere, because clearly this is how she feels. Now she values her sorority sisters over me and acts so different towards me. Well, the fact that the bride-to-be is acting different towards her sister is interesting. Again, clearly this relationship is compromised. And I would love to explore with the person who reached out, if she were my client, What are some things that perhaps you have done to compromise the relationship? Because our natural tendency by nature is to always look at what the other people are doing. We call this victim mindset in coaching. It's always happening to me. Things happen to me, not to anyone else. It's always me. I'm always the victim to everything. There is a lot of victim mindset going on with everything that this person wrote, and I am sure it is showing up in other areas of her life. That's the beauty of coaching, is when a coach is working with their client, they are not coaching the story, okay? Right here we have a story, but the coach is not working with the client in regards to the story. We use the story to peel back what's actually going on with the client, because often it's showing up in other areas, and I can pretty much guarantee that it is. Then she proceeds to say, I forgive her and accept her decision. She really doesn't. She doesn't. She has very bitter feelings towards her sister for not asking her being in the wedding. And then those of you getting married, please give it serious thought. Very much coming from the victim mindset. Now again, this is the story, but guaranteed this is showing up in other areas, probably in a lot of other relationships with this person. I can't help this person unless I'm coaching them. That's the hard thing. So even responding back, there's really not much I can say because it really would require coaching. But if you are someone that always comes from that, woe is me, it's always happening to me, I'm always the one that's having the strike against them, pause and think about what you could be doing, because with this situation, clearly the relationship is compromised. It would therefore make complete sense that the bride didn't ask her sister to be in the wedding because she probably doesn't see herself close to her sister, which is fine. Because when we believe people, when they show us who they are, we get to dictate how much of a role they play in our life. Being someone's sister is just what was given to you. Relationships are how we show up in one another's lives. Okay, so even a mother-daughter relationship, just because someone is your mother, that's the role they were given you. But if your mother were belittling you, demonizing you, criticizing you all the time, the relationship could be compromised, right? Someone could say, I respect her just because she's my mom, but yet she's not respecting you. So we get to choose how we show up in relationships. And when we believe people, when they show us who they are, we will determine that. This relationship is compromised. It makes complete sense the bride didn't ask her sister to be in her wedding. Maybe they were close at one time, but obviously things have happened. This is my final straw with her. And I am sharing this situation and this story because it may apply to you in some way. So again, don't get too caught up in the story. Ask yourself, where in your life are you thinking something should be the way it is because it's supposed to be, it's right. Sisters should be in sisters' weddings because it's right. It may sound right, but it doesn't work that way. It's how we treat people. It's how we listen. It's how we interact, how we show up in their life, right? A lot of drama probably going on between these sisters. And the person who reached out to me most likely has a lot of work to do. We can't change or fix others. We can't mold people to be how we want them to be. We can't mold them to be how we would like them to show up in our life. We only have the responsibility to show up appropriately in other people's lives, and how they respond and how they receive that will tell us where they play a role in our life and where they have a seat on our bus. You need to take charge of your life. I highly recommend you click on the link in the description box below and you watch my video on Take Charge of Your Life, because I talk about the bus. If a school bus is your life, and you're the driver, you dictate who's in the seats on your bus and where they're seated. Okay, just because someone is a sister doesn't mean they're in the front of the bus. If your relationship is compromised, you'll always have a seat on that person's bus because they'll always be in your life, but you may be in the back, and you better believe their college sorority sisters or roommates, their friends, could be on the seats towards the front because they get to choose that, and it's determined on how you showed up in their life. We have to take responsibility for ourselves because we can't change or fix others. I hope this message hit you today where you need to be hit because it can apply in so many areas. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget links to everything in the description box below today's video, including what I am wearing. I always share outfit and beauty details, videos to complement today's topic, and all of my websites. So if you're looking into working with a coach, you can check out the Hensel Coaching and Consulting website. There's a team of coaches there to choose from if I'm not the coach for you. Also check out my personal brand website where you can shop all of my favorites that I constantly keep updated. Be following me on Instagram stories. Most of my stories are on life topics such as this. So if you like what I shared in today's video and you want more, make sure you follow me on Instagram and be watching and checking for my stories on a daily basis. Thanks for being here.